Bridges have a hot spotlight on them in the last year, both locally and nationally. But what about some of those that you drive under routinely?
News 9's Chloe Messigitis takes a closer look in this News 9 special assignment.
Well, chances are if you live in the area, you've driven underneath this bridge right here, the Lincoln Avenue Underpass. It's a bridge that sees tons of traffic every single day going underneath it, but it also sees the average 1,000 to 3,000 tons of freight going across it. Recently, viewers reached out to us here at News 9 and questioned, is the bridge really safe enough to have that much traffic underneath it and have that much weight on top of it? We took a deeper dive. On March 27th, we received a call from a viewer concerned about the condition of the Lincoln Avenue Underpass, one that many travel through each day like clockwork. We checked with the BHJ's traffic counts, and in that area of Lincoln Avenue, 7,383 cars go by just in 24 hours. The viewer, Lois Thompson, told us when she saw the Francis Scott Key Bridge collapse in Baltimore, it made her immediately think of the Lincoln Avenue one.
And then I'm sitting here, I says, I don't like that underpass. Just bothers me. I says, I'm going to call and see before something does happen.
Turns out, Lois isn't the only one with the same concern, as we asked you, our viewers, for thoughts and heard worries and similar questions.
If I'm under that underpass and waiting for that red light to turn green, I don't know if something's going to fall from up above or it just bothers me.
Viewers writing similar comments to Thompson's, one even asking, why has nobody reached out to the railroad? So we did. The railroads own and operate those overpasses, and all of them are under the jurisdiction of the Federal Railroad Administration. We reached out to Norfolk Southern a number of times with questions on inspection and requests for comment. They issued us this statement. Norfolk Southern knows our bridges are often landmarks in our local communities, and how they look can be a resident's first perception of how safe they are. We take seriously our commitment to the safety of our operations and our infrastructure, including those bridges. We invest more than $1 billion annually into maintaining our infrastructure. All Norfolk Southern bridges are maintained according to federal regulations and are subject to regular structural inspection. But who can have access to those inspections? Well, we ran into the same problem time and time again. The inspection reports are not public, and the railroad legally doesn't have to disclose the contents of the report. So we didn't just stop at Norfolk Southern. We reached out to the Steubenville Engineering Department, Jefferson County Engineering Department, ODOT District 11, among others, all who could not comment on the story nor the state of the bridge. In regard to who can make a request for bridge inspections under the FAST Act, the Ohio Public Utilities Commission pointed us in the direction of the Federal Railroad Administration, as they also did not have information on that bridge. The FRA site reads, Section 11405 of the FAST Act permits a state or a political subdivision of the state to file a request for a public version of a bridge inspection report for a bridge located in that state or political subdivision's jurisdictions. Thus, any duly elected or appointed official of a state or political subdivision of a state acting in his or her official capacity may file a request. This includes officials of a state, city, town, municipality, or other political subdivision of a state. However, after asking all of you, the conversation on the state of the bridges opened up further. State Representative Don Jones told us after seeing video of train bridges in his district in spots like Adena and Hopedale, it was time to take a further look.
What do you do in your position, and how do we push on some of these railroads and the federal government to get some answers?
So, it was really never brought to my attention until, you brought it to my attention. So what my office has done, we have requested inspection reports for the bridges that are in my district, namely in Hopedale, as you shared with me earlier. So, we're going to find out, how long does it take to get a report? What does the report tell us? And I think it's going to be an issue that we're going to have to educate ourselves on.
But like what we found just by digging into the story, getting detailed reports on the bridges are complicated, not just for us. Jones says for elected officials like himself, the beginning of the process can be cumbersome.
You've got to have the bridge identification, whether pictures or a street name, an intersecting street.
So we reached out to U.S. Senators J.D. Vance and Sherrod Brown, as they've been pressing the railroads for increased transparency to the public as part of their proposed Railway Safety Act.
And these companies, they don't pay enough attention to public safety.
He adds Ohio has the third most rail lines and railroads in the country.
That's why we're working on this railroad safety bill to force the railroads to play ball with people locally, disclose who you are, what you're doing, don't compromise on safety.
Vance says he's had a lot of constituents approach him about the issue of railroad bridges in recent months.
They're private bridges. Obviously, they're not maintained by the local governments, the state government. They're supposed to be maintained by the railroad companies, but a lot of them have fallen into disrepair.
But like the two Ohio senators, Representative Jones says with infrastructure always in the conversation, we need to keep a closer eye on these smaller bridges in communities across the state.
We're going to have to just be diligent in our efforts to make sure that we're getting the information we need so that we know what's being done or not being done to these structures.
Now, last we spoke with Jones, he says they're waiting on the results from the train bridge in Hopedale, and the FRA has 30 days to respond to their request. So he anticipates having the reports in a couple of weeks. His office also sent requests for other bridges like the Lincoln Avenue Underpass that we were asking about. So we're hoping to have more answers in the coming weeks, as at the end of the day, it's a public safety concern.
I'm just concerned about something falling down and going to destroy a car and the people that's in the car.
For News 9, I'm Chloe Messagaitis.
Hi, I'm Dylan Cleland. Thanks for watching. And here's another video to check out, and be sure to subscribe to our channel.